And welcome to episode 19 of your replay analysis. This one was sent in by Zem, and is asking us to go over to the blue team. He's not actually on this team, but he is helping them coach, or helping coach them, and asked for my input on their play here on Battlefield. So we're going to be going with the blue team. As far as comp goes, Diablo, Rhaegar, Li-Ming, Zul'jin, Thrall versus Jaina, Greymane, Arthas, Artanis, Lucio. Just based on comp, they both have pretty good immortal burn, right? Rhaegar and Zul'jin are pretty excellent against immortals, as well as Li-Ming post 7 if she goes for Seeker. Diablo's pretty hard to deal with on this map. There's a lot of geometry for him to hit people. Definitely should be a Thrall, so if anything. But on the other side, Jaina is also pretty excellent for burn, as well as Greymane and Artanis. So the red team should have the advantage on immortals. But blue team has a good camp clear. They have better team fight, I would say. In general, I think blue team's a little bit better than this team. Excuse me. Oops, didn't mean to do that, but I did. So nothing too exciting here. It's going over World 1 talents really quick. We got Devil's Due, which is pretty much what you should always go in Diablo. It's a very good map for it as well. Lightning Bond on Rhaegar is fairly standard. Headhunter on Zul'jin is pretty greedy here. They have some pretty hard to kill people, right? Arthas, Artanis, Lucio are all pretty squirrely. So I don't know if I would necessarily go Headhunter against this team, but it is what it is. Then Echo the Elements is pretty standard on Thrall. I personally prefer like Crash Lightning, but you need to be in the 4-man for that to really work. And so yeah, in general, I would say that Thrall, like, this is the better talent for solo laning especially. But I don't think Thrall's in a very good spot right now in general anyway. Fingers of Frost on Jaina. Globe quests are kind of hard to complete on this map. You don't get a ton of them guaranteed, right? If you're in lane, you can get a decent amount, but the only ones that spawn in the middle are from winning the Immortal. So it's very greedy and very assuming that you're going to win these Immortals. Greymane also goes for Cocktail at 1. Fairly standard, but I don't necessarily know if it's the best choice here. I probably prefer more of an auto attack based build against these Immortals to try and get as much damage as possible. Frost Presence is kind of standard. You don't really need block for a whole lot on this game. Like, Zul'jin does a decent amount of auto attack damage, yes, as does Thrall. But for the most part, if you can root them, they should. Most of their team's pretty squishy outside of Diablo, so you might be able to get some good kills with the increased range here. Amateur opponent is always must pick on Artanis on this map for sure. Gives you 150% bonus damage to the Immortals. It's absolutely key. And then Accelerando on Lucio, which is my general go-to on him, so no complaints there. Going into basic laning, Thrall gets swapped top. Not a ton of damage though. Should be able to heal it up pretty easily with her trait. Bottom lane, just gonna do some poking back and forth. Li-Ming does go for Power Hungry as well, which I don't know if I like. Again, I like Devil's Due because you can get so much effect out of just one globe. For stuff like Fingers of Frost and Power Hungry, you need to kind of consistently get globes for them to be super worthwhile. But Diablo, you can walk in a lane or grab a sippy and you're just ancestral to full health and mana, period. So that's why I like Devil's Due a lot more than the other two globe quests. I know it may seem weird that I kind of flip-flopped on those, but that's my opinion. But both teams just kind of clearing back and forth, doing nothing too crazy here. I prefer to see Li-Ming like down here poking the heroes a little bit more. She doesn't have great wave clear, so the best she's going to do is be getting pokes off. As far as Zul'jin goes, trying to waste mana early on trying to hit W's, because you don't get any value out of W's until 7 when you get the Arcanite access. So try to just save your mana. You can slow people if you want with a W to like get a couple of auto attacks off, but like that doesn't really benefit you much if you're not going to get a couple of autos off to stack your passive. I would definitely like to see the Zul'jin, I would say, more up front trying to get these kills rather than, or trying to get the auto attacks more than trying to clear wave. Diablo and Rhaegar can handle the lane pretty well. If Zul'jin can afford to play forward and just get stacks, that's generally what you want to do. Not that they're out of mana or anything, but that is generally the better way to play it. Blue team is going to be 4-man defending and just having Artanis on it, which is pretty good for the red team, honestly. Diablo eats a lot of damage here from the Immortal stun. Gotta watch out for those. So our team's gonna fall behind here at halftime, probably. They are poking fairly well, but I would probably like to see them sit back a little more, let this Diablo heal up. That's a very, very dead thrall. Got a little bit too crazy, a little too close up there when they didn't have vision. Like here, let's bounce back a little bit. I like showing vision, but it really, I think it's helpful. So right here, going on Thrall's vision. Is this Thrall? No. Okay, the numbers are all fucked. Okay. So going off of your guys' vision here, there's a couple auto attacks in. You see all of them up here. Okay, Neville said she actually wants input 2 so you can focus on her as well. Okay, cool. So this one's for here then. So you see them all like kind of walking around this bush and sitting in this area, like generally in here. So this is not where you want to be. Your entire team is down here on this side of the wall. Being up here means if you get hit by one ability, you're just dead. Lucio, you see the Lucio, try to chase him a little bit, but again, right now, you saw that they were all around this bush, and as you see vision, you can see they're all actually just sitting in the bush. But you knew that they're all around here, kind of this small area. So one ability just kills you here. One swap or one root or Lucio flying past you and booping you. And then the rest of your team is right here trying to poke. So generally in this situation, on Thrall especially, you want to be down here just throwing a Q off at the Immortal and letting it bounce to enemy heroes and getting your poke in that way. But you overextend a little bit, and like I said, you get hit by one root and you just instantly die. So be careful about that especially. Arcanus was on the other Immortal, but still the 4 of them can kill you pretty easily. That and the rest of your team was on the complete opposite side of the Immortal down here, just trying to get some poke. Your team benefits a lot from poking, definitely. So like Li Ming can throw out her abilities from a good distance and not worry too much. Rhaegar and Thrall Rhaegar and Diablo have to be kind of in it to get damage, but it's not the end of the world if they're not. Zul'jin can poke also with W's and a couple of autos and then leave. So on Thrall, especially with this kind of comp in this situation, you want to be down here with your team, just poking in, throwing a Q out, and letting it bounce to enemy heroes, and that's how you're going to get your poke damage in. It's not a bad idea to go in when it's 5v4, but your Diablo has no health, so it's kind of risky, is the problem. Li Ming, just unfortunately, doesn't have the mana to kill the Arcus off, but that is a good point that you knew it was 5v4, but your Diablo was not really in any position to jump in, is the problem. So if you would recognize that your Diablo had no health and that your Zul'jin is sitting here at no mana, no health, or pretty low health, and Li Ming's just lowering her mana every time she procs, you still get the Immortal because they don't have as much damage as you and they all backed instead of trying to burn, which is very good for you guys, but that could have gone a lot better. Don't need to die if you can help it, right? And then, so from the Shadows on Diablo is an excellent choice. Healing Totem on Rhaegar, also an excellent choice. Charge Blast on Li Ming is decent. I like Dominance a lot, but it is kind of greedy. It is based like solely on getting resets. Dominance does help a little, or Charge Blast, sorry, does help a little bit with your Immortal clear as well, because you can, you know, hit the magic missiles on the Immortal, get an auto attack in, get a little bit more single target damage. Amani Rage on Zul'jin is fairly good, fairly standard, and definitely the way to go. Mana Tide on Thrall. I don't play a lot of Thrall, but Mana Tide's not bad. I know that, especially if you're going for the Echo, where you're getting more casts. You're going to go for Follow Through at 7, and Mana Tide here to reduce your cooldowns, give you some more mana sustain. It's a very good way to go if you're going to go for Echo and Follow Through, that kind of build. Frost Shards on Jaina is very good. She went Fingers of Frost here, and then I expect her to go the Frostbolt cooldown if it hits the same or if it hits a chill target at 7, and then she becomes a pretty excellent Immortal DPS. I fully expect her to see her go that build. Greymane continuing with the cocktail build. Frozen Waste on Arthas is my go-to personally, but I understand why a couple people don't, but it is an excellent choice. It gives you some more mana sustain by reducing the mana cost, and once you finish the quest, it does take a while to stack up, but once you finish it, it's an excellent choice against heroes like Thrall or Zul'jin or Rhaegar. I think Thrall should have went Wolf Quest at 4 versus 3 melee and 16% damage on Wolf. I might agree that would have been a pretty good choice, I think, actually. Let me just double check on Thrall's talents because I don't know them by heart because I never play him because I just don't think he's a great hero right now. But let's see. The quest talent at 4 for Wolf is Frostwolf Pack. If you hit 7 heroes with Feral Spirit, which is the W, you reduce the cooldown and mana cost of it by 50%. So 50% cooldown, 50% mana. You just use it twice as often. And then for reference, team is mostly silver and their team is mostly gold. Okay, that's fun. But I might probably agree with that. I really like the Frostwolf Pack at 4, but if you're gonna go for Echo, I think most people go for Mana Tide and follow through just to like kind of get more of that pokey sort of thing. So I think that would have been a good option too, but I don't know if I have a problem with Mana Tide necessarily. Level is that quest? That quest is level 4. Here, it's right here. Frostwolf Pack. Hit 7 heroes in a row. You can't miss or die in between. And then you reduce the cooldown and mana cost of it by half, which is an excellent talent. If you can hit those. If I've seen people take it and then never finish the quest, then obviously it's useless. But if you're confident in your ability to finish the quest, I would say that's probably the strongest of that tier, for sure. The block might have also been decent in this game because they have a gray main, right? They have people who want to dive in on you, but it wouldn't have been amazing. But yeah, I think I agree with Next. That might have been the better choice, but I don't hate Mana Tide, I don't think. I'm gonna get some poking in top lane and bottom lane. Nothing too crazy going on. The biggest problem, unfortunately, is that you only have 6 stacks on Echo. You picked that talent 5 times in a row and completed it 5 times. You didn't know you could miss. Sure, Next. Sure, let's go with that. You don't miss talents, sure. No, really though. If you can hit it, it's absolutely an amazing talent. But if you can miss it a couple times, then it gets pretty rough. The biggest problem is that you're not completing Echo enough, I don't think. You only have 6 stacks. You can easily get 2 or 3 stacks a wave. Just by getting a couple creeps low, queuing, and then Wind Fury to finish them off very quickly. So definitely this should be higher ideally right now. Try to focus on your last hitting with Echo. Or getting like at least the... Or can you apply it to Kerrigan next? Exactly, right? But I was saying, try it in, like, you can get the range creeps pretty consistently with that. So I would hit the range creeps a few times, maybe 2 or 3 times, get them pretty low on HP, and then cast your Chain Lightning and then Wind Fury to finish them off. Just try to get it. You're only like bronze 4, it's true. I didn't finish these. We have Frozen Waste, we had Shield Surge, which is very good for surviving at low health, and off the wall, which is pretty good here, especially if you go for Accelerando. But just kind of poke back and forth. That was a pretty good flip onto the Arthas, but unfortunately it is Arthas with a speed boost from Lucio. Not really going to take too much damage. Top lane, Nevo is going to live from that. Almost died. Just have a Civvy though, so she should be able to just heal back up. As long as she's pretty careful and doesn't get dunked on by a swap. The root hit, luckily. Your Rhaegar has Lightning Bond, but I don't think I've seen him use it once. So definitely try to make sure that he's casting that on other people, because you get 2 of them, obviously. As opposed to just self-casting it, which I've seen him do at least 3 or 4 times here. Try to take advantage of your talents. Okay. So here you have... He's been using it on the Immortal. I saw him use it on himself a couple of times on the Immortal, but okay. Maybe he's putting it on the thing, but the Immortal Sleep is killing. Oh, he's using it on Totem. That's why. Okay, that would make sense. I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw it only on him a few times, but if he's using it on Totem, that makes sense. So here, you guys have nobody top lane. Thrall came down to help with the camp here, but you need this XP. Don't miss XP, especially early game. Seems like a waste of mana. Yeah, definitely if you have allies with you, you absolutely want to use it on your allies, especially like a Diablo or a Thrall who wants to be in melee range anyway. It's just free damage. Like, you generally just want to use that. So, but right here, top lane, you're missing. So you only see Lucio here, right? You see a couple of them, really. Are you even wasting lane? Yeah, if you're safe in lane, you can wolf and then like jump on the back line and then put your lightning shield on a frontline minion, and it'll hit all three of the right or the melee, and you hit all three of the back with yours. But you guys are losing out on XP top here, which I would highly recommend against. So if you Nevo's gonna go ahead and head up there now, but you're gonna miss a couple of creeps, unfortunately. Creeps are a lot of XP in early game, definitely. And then you didn't see Grayman at all. You knew that he was probably back. He's gonna go ahead and go back before that. You guys are gonna cap this as well at the right time. You have people in both lanes right now, so I would say having someone stand here is not terrible to cap the camp at the correct time. But generally, if you need the people, then just cap it and leave. It's not going to be that big of a deal if it spawns 2 seconds earlier. Especially because you already had the immortals, you knew when they were coming up. It's not super necessary to hold it past that. Thrall's going to be fighting with top lane when you see Jaina coming up. Kind of in a rough spot here, but let me go over talents really quick before this fight happens. We have Diabolical Momentum on Diablo, which I don't really like. Personally, I like the either Spell Armor or Health Regen. Either one would be good here. Spell Armor is decent against the Cocktail build, Greymane, and Jaina in general. It would make you extraordinarily hard to kill for this team, and Health Regen just helps Rhaegar not have to focus you with healing as much. Cleanse is pretty good here against something like Artana Swap or Arthas. Seeker is definitely the way to go. I applaud your Li Ming so much. Please continue picking Seeker. It's a very good ability. Definitely the right choice on this map, especially. You want that single target damage as much as possible. Arcanite Axe on Zul'jin is excellent. The Maelstrom weapon is a very greedy pick. Do I have Thrall's Talents up still? Did I do a stupid? No, I didn't. Okay. So because you're going Echo, I assumed you're going to go Follow Through and Mana Tide. So generally when you're going for like an Echo Mana Tide kind of thing, you're casting as often as possible. So you either want to go Ancestral Wrath or Follow Through. Ancestral Wrath gives you percent damage, which would have been excellent against an Arthas. Or Follow Through if you're going to be trying to cast as many as possible, which is what I assumed you were going to do, because you're getting cooldown reduction, you're getting an extra cast of your Q. You're just getting a ton of casts in general, so Follow Through would have been decent here as well. But Ancestral Wrath also could have been decent if you're going to go for more of the like spammy kind of mana refund and cooldown reduction and then an extra charge. So I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree with Maelstrom Weapon here personally. Do I feel Seeker is good just due to the map? I think Seeker is better if you can hit the skill shot. I mean, obviously, if you can't hit the skill shot, don't go for Seeker. But if you can't hit the skill shot, I think you probably shouldn't play Li Ming. That being said, I like Seeker in general a lot more than Calamity. Next, you can get right out. But I think Seeker is an excellent ability. If you're able to hit it, it provides so much damage from such a safe distance that you're never really going to be in danger. Especially if you go for Illusionist here. You can even afford Glass Cannon if you're super safe about it. But if you go Illusionist at 13, you're never really going to die here. You shouldn't really. I mean, obviously it happens. But you should play safe enough, especially with Seeker, to not be in danger. If you go Calamity and you fuck up and you don't get the kill with Calamity, then you're just dead because you used your only escape to jump in, and that's no bueno. So I really love Seeker, but I understand people who don't go Seeker. But I think if you're not going to go for like a skill shot kind of heavy damage buff, then you probably shouldn't play Li Ming. And next, you can stop talking. So yeah, I don't agree with the Maelstrom Weapon pick here personally, but it also takes forever to stack up, and it's a level 7 quest, so you get it pretty late and you start stacking really late. And I just don't really agree with this talent. Ice Lance is an excellent choice. Like I said, I expected her to go for the cooldown. Greymane continuing with the Cocktail. Immortal Coil on Arthas is going to heal himself even if it's used on enemies. I would say I generally go for what's it called? The I forget what the name of it is. Icebound Resilience, I think. Icebound Fortitude. That's the one that gives you the CC reduction. But there's not a ton of CC on blue team to stop. which is kind of their downside. Like that's the biggest downside to this team is they don't have a ton of like hard CC. You heart clam and you die all the time. Those two might be related. I don't know why. Sorry, Nightbots or yeah, the Streamlabs is making everybody's text yellow for some reason, or everybody's name yellow over here, and it's freaking me out. But Immortal Coil is not bad here. I'm trying to think if I would prefer anything else here, honestly. Let me just double check. Level 7 on Arthas, we have the Rune Tap, which every third basic attack heals, and Icebound Fortitude. So this is probably the best choice, honestly. I think that's probably the best choice here for Immortal Coil that we did go for, but generally I prefer Icebound Fortitude. But I think I agree with you. The Immortal Coil choice here, because they don't have a lot of hard CC that you want to stop. Warp Sickness is going to slow people after he gets swaps. I haven't really seen him pulling any God swaps, but that's because he's been DPSing the Immortal the whole time, so probably a factor. And then Party Mix on Lucio is also fairly good. So Nebo's in a really bad spot here. I was going to check the cooldown on Phase Prism right now, but it hits at max range, and that's one dead thrall. Okay, Died Decrease. That's unfortunate. So let me hop back just a couple of seconds. That's way too many seconds. Might need to hop back slightly more than this. Calamity benefits from resets instantly while you still need to weave in auto attacks for Seeker. I suppose. But if you go for like a Mirror Ball later on as well, you definitely get a lot of benefit out of Seeker because you can hit it really consistently. So just going over the Thrall's positioning here. So this is what you guys can see, right? You have this, you're going to cap right now. Your Thrall or your Rhaegar's going back. You're clearing top lane as Thrall. You suspect that they're going in on this camp at top lane, which is a pretty easy to suspect thing, right? You generally know where they are. They're clearing this camp. They're trying to clear a second side camp as well, maybe bottom lane. But you see the Arthas in lane, so you think maybe not. So right here is when you're going to head up. You're in full vision. They know exactly where you are. They have people coming up after they finish this camp off, but you're in full vision. This Artanis is not really worried because he knows exactly where you are, and he knows that you're on his side of the map. He saw two people on your team bottom. He knows that you're trying to clear this side camp. So you walk in full vision. You take the trade, but right there you saw the Jaina and you probably realized right about here that you're dead. That's when you start running. You unfortunately don't get the dodge onto the Phase Prism and you just eat it. In that situation, you knew that your entire team wasn't there. You might have been able to actually get out if you ran a little bit further left around your minions and then down. They might have just come up and killed you, but you need to be worried about that. Like if you're clearing a wave, if you would have gone back around this way, you probably wouldn't have died because you would have been in a better spot instead of sitting in the middle of them, like on that side of the Jaina. You would have had more time to react to her walking up, as well as having to leave. You're actually going to start running this build you're talking about. It's great. It's great. So right there, like that positioning was pretty off on the Thrall there, personally. So generally I go for dominance on 4 if I'm going for like a full damage. Charge blast is okay if you're going for like huge single target, like an immortal kind of push. I don't generally go charge blast, so that would be why I don't really think it benefits from auto attacks as much, and just staying safe. You need to be careful about that, just eating free immortal damage. That is a good kill onto the Arthas. You guys need to be careful about eating damage from the immortals. Like I've seen you guys get caught a couple of times just tanking the immortal damage. It's a good call to clear top marks. You guys do have a pretty good advantage on the immortal, so you can just clear this top wave without too much risk. Even if they get close to you on damage, you're fine. You still have slightly more single target than they do, especially with Arthas dead. They don't want to fight you too much. So you guys are gonna finish this up, clear that top wave out. Right here, you could probably leave and it would finish itself off. but the enemy team is all going to be here. So right now, this is what you see. You see just Artanis. Artanis could easily swap either of these three here or any of these three heroes. You kind of need to be careful with that. He's going to go for it. Doesn't have the mana, I don't think, to actually hit it though. So you guys, you will win this poke war 100%. So because I go over this a couple of times, if you're 5-man defending, you are at a huge disadvantage. Unless you have heroes that can force a fight, win that fight, and then go take the Immortal, you're just being useless sitting at a 5-man defense on Immortals. Excuse me. Because you need to DPS the Immortal to do anything in this map. Or to win the Immortal, obviously, you need to damage it. And the enemy team has a Zul'jin, a Li Ming, and a Thrall, who are all going to poke and do excellently at just poking you down, poking the Immortal down, just doing some dumb poke damage. So unless you hard engage and win this, you need to leave. Because you're not going to win the poke war here. So you need to, like, Lucio boost 5 people in and just try to overrun them, or try to get a pick with a swap or something. But sitting here in 5-man defending like this is not going to do well for you. Thrall should get out of that, yeah. Needs to be kind of careful about running back in though. So they did end up overrunning you guys. They did, like, they pushed in with the Lucio speed boost, right? They did end up getting that, which is a pretty good play on Red Team's part. Again, they had to do that or they were just losing. So let's hop back just a second to see that engage again. Maybe I need to hop back a little bit more than that. God, the 3-play system. Okay. So right here, you guys see this. You guys are a little bit too grouped up. Again, you're poking, which is fine, but you see the Arthas is close. You're gonna get 3-man Howling Blast right here, which is completes quest A, and B puts you in a very bad spot. So Lucio instantly runs towards you guys. It's a speed boost to boop you back. Does some good damage. And then you're split at this point. You're kind of shit out of luck right now. Ideally, you guys could run out the top, and these two could run out the bottom and let Diablo kind of sacrifice himself. But because everybody tries to kind of collapse, you all just end up dying. So that's really bad. That's unfortunate. You don't want that. But the red team did exactly what they needed to, and they pushed that advantage when they had it. Because they got a 3-man Howling Blast and just pushed and collapsed and killed you all right there. Which is what their team can do, but that's the only way they get immortal damage here, unfortunately. So it did work out for them that time, but in the long run, I think it is not going to work out for them. You're barely ever going to auto attack against this Arthas. So you kind of, unfortunately, just died there. That's not... You weren't going to out DPS all 4 of their team anyway. And they were most likely going to send somebody, at least one person, back to hold defend. So that was not a great play. You probably should have just regrouped, maybe cleared a lane, tried to get some XP because you guys were not 10. And they were going to hit 10 pretty soon. Just try to get some XP in a side lane, maybe take a camp really quickly if you possibly could. But trying to fight that isn't really going to get you any benefit. So here, you do the Thrall goes top, which I was going to say, you need somebody top lane right now to get that split XP because you need to hit 10 before you can do anything here. So sitting back as 5 wouldn't help at all. Being said, again, you guys have decent single targets, so you can poke this Immortal out pretty well for the most part. They can't push in too hard unless they get another good Howling Blast. So you gotta be kind of careful, but not too careful here. There's an excellent Arcanite Axis coming out, or excellent Twin Cleave coming out, stacking their Arcanite Axis up. See, Zul'jin, like I was saying about him needing to be aggressive, sorry, he's only at 38 auto attacks, which is very, very low for this point in the game. So ideally you want him to be more stacked at this point. Taking this top camp is not a bad choice, but it is pretty aggressive. You know they're taking bottom camp because they were all there a second ago. Again, you get Echo stacked at this point, so you're pretty much fine here on wave clear. I was going to say, yeah, taking the top camp would have been very aggressive. I don't know if I would have liked it, but backing off and just clearing the camp is a good choice as well. Letting these guys bottom clear. So here, though, I really hope you leave at top lane. Okay, yeah, you're super dead here. So there. I don't mean to seem like I'm like ragging on you. I'm just trying to trying to help out. By the way, on Thrall. So you see them all bottom, right? This is your vision right now. You see 4 people bottom, and they just took a camp. This camp is gone. There's no reason for them to be there, but this camp is not. So if you look at the map, there's no immortal to take. What's the next objective they want to go to? They want to take a camp, try and get some map pressure. They already took bottom camp. They could either map pressure, or they could either pressure this 4 and try to take it as 4, or they're going to rotate top and try and take this camp. Those are their 2 options right now. So if you're looking at top lane, you see all 4 of them disappear off the minimap. And right here, you're alone. Like, this is, if you're looking at the minimap here, they all disappeared after they took the camp. There's only one objective on this map for them to go to right now. That is not an immortal. Like, there's no immortal spawn. There's no other camp up on the map. So where else would they be but going to top lane? And they have Arthas kind of poking around, but he looks like he really doesn't want to engage. So you probably should have just gotten out and left. But you try to clear a couple of waves, and you just die for it, unfortunately. And then you probably should need to send somebody up top as well to get that XP, because you are going to need to catch up slightly. You're 2 levels, or a level and a half behind right now. As far as also, we got APOC, Ancestral, Disintegrate, Guillotine, and Sundering. All these are kind of like, I'm not sure about Sundering as much, because it has kind of anti-synergy with the rest of your ults, right? Guillotine, if you sunder somebody out of it, it's going to be rough. APOC as well. But if you'd taken an Earthquake on Thrall, you might have been able to get more setup for those abilities, rather than possible anti-synergy. So I probably would have preferred Earthquake here. Then we have Ring of Frost, Go for the Throat, Army of the Dead, Suppression Pulse, and Sound Barrier, all which I kind of like, so nothing to complain about on red team side. Pushing bottom hard is okay. It's not an excellent choice, because again, it's an Arthas. I don't know about that ultimate. You guys are using all your ultimates in not a great spot. If you had killed him, it would have been like an okay trade at best, but because you didn't kill him, it's an even worse trade. It's like a very bad trade. And that burst, it was good burst from Li Ming to get that kill onto Jaina. That might actually save a couple of you guys. Not quite saving the Diablo, but that could have gone a lot worse for you guys. So backing it up slightly, and I'm backing up a lot, going over shit. So just this, so you threw out the orb and thing, and she just got deleted, which is an excellent choice on Li Ming's part. Excellent play on Li Ming's part. That's way too far back. God damn it. Maybe here. I hate this replay system sometimes. Oh, did it crash? Oh, it didn't crash. Okay. Okay. That's a lot farther back than I wanted it to go. That's fine. So, dying at top lane, again, not ideal. You say push bottom hard, which is okay. I think you get this for it, but even then, it's not a great choice. So, there, you got the stun onto Arthas. But as soon as he pops army here, you guys are going to have a really hard time killing him. Because Li Ming can no longer hit skill shots if army's up. You can't hit Qs, you can't hit Ws. The only thing you can do as Li Ming is ult. And the APOC goes down, which whiffs. The Guillotine goes down, which whiffs. So here you guys need to just leave. Get out of dodge. You're never going to win that at this point. And you saw them leaving top as well. But you had a decent turnaround. Did kill that. What's it called? The Jaina instantly. Unfortunately, she didn't take advantage of the reset that much on Li Ming. She didn't go for the rest of them. If he had Calamity there, he still wouldn't have gotten those kills. I'm sorry. Don't encourage this next. You're better than this, I think. Okay, so going into the next Immortal. Ideally, you guys want to go take this camp, but you don't really have time, so it's probably better to just head towards the Immortal and deal with it. That being said, you don't have ultimates, so it might be better to just create some map pressure, and you're down a tier. So I don't know if I think this is the greatest play in here. You guys aren't in a great spot, I mean to say. So Arthas can just walk at you. There's not a ton you can do, unfortunately. Get some decent poke down, but Rhaegar's going to go down fairly easily. Doesn't die, but does go down really low. Li Ming might be able to get that reset. Not quite. Gonna end up calling him, but Li Ming's too far away to take that much advantage of the reset. So you guys did win that fight, despite being in a very bad spot and down a tier, so that's not bad. Your Stormfront on Jaina increased the range of Blizzard, which is fine. Lunge distance on Swipe is fine as well. Biting Cold is alright. Triple Strike is pretty good, especially if you're going to go for Amateur opponent. And then Hardstyle is an excellent choice. So now you guys can burn the Immortal. Halftime didn't start yet, so you're going to get good advantage out of that as well. You guys do need help, though, on all of your frontliners. I don't know if I agree with the call to have the Diablo go in necessarily. Try to have your Diablo work on the APOC timing. I don't need to double check if it was up actually before he went in. Okay, yeah, it was up. It was up right now. So what you want to do for the APOC timing is APOC and then charge and then flip, and you'll always hit somebody as long as you're using them right away. So you could, if you had APOC'd here before jumping in, this is a dead Lucio, 100%. But because he waited until after he flipped to APOC, the Lucio gets away scot-free. You do kill the Greymane, who has a lot of their immortal DPS, but you probably could have killed Lucio if you had timed your ability slightly better. So just keep an eye on that. Try to hit APOC before you go in and stun somebody. Li Ming tries to back in a very, very bad place and just gets caught. That was way too aggressive of a back for her, and now Zul'jin has no mana, so he can't really do much about this. And Thrall is going to have to kind of poke and nothing else. And you guys are going to end up losing this Immortal when you had a huge advantage, so that's rough. So you might have to sneeze. Maybe. Nope, it's good. Okay. So this is one of those things where you should not be there on Thrall. Yeah, you can poke slightly, but you're just not in a good spot. And it's going to cause Diablo to die because you were pretty out of position and ended up dying. It also got the Rhaegar killed as well. So on Thrall, that you need to just position way safer and maybe poke with a Q but not actually go in. Going in just kind of meant the death for your tank. So we have Earth Shield on Rhaegar, which is very, very good. Glass Cannon Li Ming is ballsy, but it's not bad. Especially, again, if you're going for more of a Seeker than not Calamity. Lacerate's pretty good. Grace of Air is okay. I guess if you're going for a Maelstrom Weapon, you want to be using that, but against a hero like Arthas, you're not really going to get that many auto attacks off during Wind Fury, so I don't know if I agree with Maelstrom Weapon or that. The unfortunate anti-synergy saves him. APOC kind of misplaced, doesn't really get much value. They were already on the retreat, so APOC didn't really hit anybody. It hit Jaina, but it didn't do much to her. So again, just kind of wary of using your big ultimate abilities like that. You already had the kill, you didn't really need to APOC to do anything else. They probably should have pushed his 5 though, they probably could have gotten the keep if they were all there and gotten a swap off or something, but take it where you can. Fire Double I also don't like very much. Go generally for the Devastating Charge, which gives you percent damage on your charge up to 15% if you once you hit people. Please be kind to us. I'm sorry. I'm trying to offer things. Please don't think this is coming off as rude. I'm not trying to say, oh, you guys are shitty. Like, that's not what I mean. I'm just trying to give you pointers on how to improve. I'm sorry if it came off wrong, though. I really, really am. It's not my intention. You just want to learn? Absolutely. Like I was saying, the APOC combo. Hit the APOC first, then charge after that, and then flip, and then they'll always hand it. You're the Diablo? Welcome. Welcome, Taito. So yeah, specifically I was just saying about the APOC combo. You could have gotten a couple of kills. Use your APOC first, and then if you are around a max range on your Q, you can Q to somebody right after you APOC and flip them, and it'll land directly into it. I'll do it in try mode after this to let you see the timing a little bit better as well. Winterheart's Grandmaster player on NA? Yeah. Thank you. Grandmaster in both queues, so. There was a very good charge there to get yourself out. Might want to flip him does end up going down, unfortunately, as well as it was a good choice by the Rhaegar. Okay. That's a good choice by the Rhaegar to get out and not... I mean, you're dead either way. Might as well waste some time. You have thick skin and still feel free to say what you need? Okay. Again, I'm not trying to be rude about anything. I'm just trying to offer points. If you guys were kind of screwed there anyway because you had somebody top. You weren't going to win that 5v4. So Rhaegar did the right thing and ran away and wasted a bunch of time instead of just walking in or letting them chase further. That being said, you guys need to get the hell out of here, I think. Like, you know that they all just died bottom and they all went missing from the map. They're super duper gonna invade. Luckily, the Arthas doesn't actually go for the kill, which he totally could have. Free to play, by the way. You said it really likes Leaning's build? Yeah. Yeah, Seeker is, in my opinion, the way to go. Especially on this map. Is haha a new meme? It's, I mean, I don't know if I would say it's new. I love Hero's academic stance on memes. She got trashed by your last analysis? It's so good on this map, especially. Like, the single target damage you get out of Charge Blast and Seeker is insanely good, in my opinion. And if you can hit Qs, then it's totally worth it to get Seeker. So 16, they got Northern Exposure, Eager Wolf, Psionic Wound, Remorseless Winter, and Rejuvenescencia. These are all pretty standard. I don't know about Twin Blades one. It's okay. It's a decent talent, don't get me wrong, but I might prefer the Giant Killer against Diablo, especially if you went for Triple Strike. Also, using Calamity into Greymane and Arthas sounds like a silly idea. Yes. I agree. Yes. Going into an Arthas and Artanis and Greymane and like into melee range is kind of is suicide. But all the talents are fairly standard for the most part. So right here, that was like excellent poking by Nevo, but she probably should have stayed a little bit safer and tried to weave around during her poke. It was a decent APOC attempt. Unfortunately, they all like, we didn't have enough CC to set up for anything. So they all kind of walk out of it. And then you guys are all grouped up nice and pretty for that ring. So this is another reason why I really would have preferred, what's it called? Can you go over a better Thrall build and a Thrall game using that build? Absolutely. I don't have any Thrall games as much. Seeker seems good. There you go, Hero. You got it. You got it. I don't have any Thrall games. Is that a sarcastic emoji? No, it's fine. Click on the follow button. Thank you. I appreciate it, Zem. Thank you so much for the follow. So, a better Thrall build, in my opinion. Ideally, if you're in the 4-man, you can go for Crash Lightning at 1, which I really like. I think it does like decent damage once you get it stacked. But Echo is not terrible. I kind of prefer the Frostwolf pack at 4 personally to get the cooldowns. If you can land all those 7 of those, then the Frostwolf pack is definitely the way to go. And then depending on if you want follow through for, because you're getting extra casts out of Frostwolf and Echo, that's fine, or Ancestral Wrath. Thank you so much as well, Tydo. Follow. I appreciate it, guys. I am more than happy to do analysis. Thank you so much. Ancestral Wrath is also excellent against high HP heroes like Arthas. Getting that 15% of their max health is pretty excellent, as well as healing yourself. It's pretty good choice in my opinion. And then I would have preferred Earthquake 100 times out of 100 here. So the biggest problem with Sundering is that it has some weird like possible anti-synergy with your other picks, right? You can knock them out of Apox, or you can knock them out of Disintegrate Beam, or you can knock them out of Guillotines. Whereas with Earthquake, APOC is almost guaranteed to land on at least 2 or 3 people because they're all so slow, they can't really do anything about it. They can't actually leave. So not going Earthquake here means that your team's going to have a much harder time lining up their abilities, especially big impact abilities like APOC, which if you have a giant AoE slow is going to be so easy to land on people. So yeah, again, here on the Thrall, you're getting good poke off, but you're standing in one spot, so they get an easy swap. And then you're forced to use Sundering to save yourself, which is not really ideal. And that was a decent chance at an APOC again. Like, it was a decent try, but unfortunately you have no other CC to stop them from just walking away from it. and they split pretty well and like got out of it fairly easily. And then Jane is gonna walk over and just ring 3 of you guys, and that is just bad news bears. As soon as this ring goes down, you all are kind of dead, unfortunately. That was an excellent ring by her. There's not much you guys could have done. Like grouping is kind of what you needed to do in that area, but it was just really unfortunate that she lined up that excellent ring on you guys. But again, I would have chosen Earthquake almost every time here. Seems like the thrall was always the objective first, but her allies are running around doing nothing before the guys need to go to her. I wouldn't necessarily say that. Just submit a thrall with replay Wolf Earthquake build. Okay, cool. Cool. Maybe we'll go over that, and then we'll go over Tigers next week. I'll do that, I think. Maybe. We'll see. He's not here. He doesn't know. My voice is getting kind of tired, but he doesn't know. Next is also Grandmaster. Or sorry, he's Master. He's not Grandmaster anymore. I don't know if you actually use that in Hero League though. So like the Thrall's first there, but you kind of need to let the Diablo go first. I fuck off. I love you too, Nex. I love you too. I had to. You know I had to. It was too easy of a joke to make. I had to do it. I agree that you're like where you should be, but if your team is not there, it is no longer where you should be. Like you're going to the right spot at the right time, but I think if your Diablo and your like your healer is not there, it's no longer the right place to be. Domination on Diablo is good, but again, I much prefer Devastating Charge here at 13, so you can possibly do 30% of somebody's max health if you get them at a choke point like this, or here, or here, or here, or here. There's a lot of spots on this map. Damn, Zem going hard. Earthcraft Totem is an excellent choice for Rhaegar. Mirror Ball is definitely the way to go for Seeker. Fireflies is technically more damage on single targets, but it's a lot harder to hit consistently. Mirror Ball makes it very, very easy to hit. Wrong place, wrong time is definitely the way to go on Zul'jin, and Tempest Fury, if you're going to go for Grace of Air, is absolutely the right choice, I would say. Alright, we're good. That's enough roasting Nex. He's a nice guy. We like Nex. I want him to play with me every once in a while. So you guys are getting good poke off here, but it was a decent guillotine as well, getting some free damage on. But unfortunately it was early, so it's going to get healed up pretty quickly. That's a good thought to flip the Greymane. Excellent Ancestral to save him. I was gonna say it was a good thought to flip the Greymane and push him back. Unfortunately, they had really good CC to stop you from doing that, but that was an excellent Ancestral to save you. It ended up working out as a really good bait. But again, that APOC, as they were running away with a Lucio, they can get out of APOC really, really easily without any other CC. So you got to be really, really careful about using it. When you're not using it for a combo, which I will show after this game, I'll do it in try mode a couple of times, then you got to be really careful about it. Because it's very easy to just walk out of if you don't have any other hard CC or even slows. Like even soft CC can help. That being said, they are pushed back because you did kill the Greymane, which is a very good pick on your guys' part. So you don't lose the core, but you did lose the key, which is no good. You guys are unfortunately kind of down on structures as well. You don't have anything in top lane and barely anything in bottom lane. So right now, ideally, I might think to just 5-man bottom lane, get this fort at the very least, get yourself some XP. Taking a camp's not a bad choice, but again, your tank's bottom, your healer's on the way, but fairly far away. And would Breath have been a choice in this instance? No, I don't. I am a huge proponent of never taking Lightning Breath. I hate Lightning Breath personally. Specifically for APOC combos, and I'll show you that after. That's a very good part of Diablo's kit that often goes underused when people are like, oh, just pick Lightning Breath if you don't have setup, but you'll see. So right here, again, you're solo, right? You have your Zul'jin clearing the wave, your tank is bottom, your other DPS is bottom. They're still trying to clear these mercs out from the bottom camp. Li Ming's on the way, but they are pretty far away from you still. If you get swapped, you're fucked. So I understand that what you're trying to do is take. So could you show you the Lightning Breath combo too? Yeah, it's called. You hold Alt, and you hit F4, and then that's it, and you're good. You were in the right spot generally, but again, you don't know where the enemy team is, right? You only saw Artanis, and they could have been anywhere. So it's a very aggressive play to do that when you guys are kind of behind and need to play some catch up. So the Zul'jin is going to go down, and they can just easily chase you down with Lucio and Arthas here as well. So if you guys were as 5, I might have said that was the right position to be in, but because you weren't, it ended up being a very bad play for you. You probably could have killed that with Li Ming, but it was pretty close. And then you could have gotten the reset if you did kill that to kill the Artist as well. But it's not the end of the world. It's a pretty good Earthgrass Totem to help get him out. Might actually save him. You can flip and push, but he doesn't really want to do that. Jaina gets sniped by Li Ming, which is an excellent choice. If he cast that closer, he might have been able to take out the Arthas as well, which would have been very, very good going into this Immortal phase. But unfortunately, you got Katas, 2 Katas and 3 camps, or 2 camps on your core, so that's no good. So something like there, Rhaegar specifically, I know you're in chat now, cast your Lightning Shield on a creep, like a melee creep. So you'll still get the benefit from Lightning Bond at 1, which gives you 2 shields, and the Earth Shield will help the creep not die as much, but you're not using it for the shield in that case. You're not really in any danger here personally, because you know they're all going to back off to go clear camp maybe, or regroup for the Immortal. So cast it on a creep and get that Lightning Bond die. You'll clear that wave a little quicker. And also, I'm not sure if it's actually on cooldown. Okay, Healing Totem's a 30-second cooldown. Pop it kind of whenever you're clearing a wave. It's not that long of a cooldown. It helps push your wave a little bit too because it heals the creeps slightly, but also yourself. So try to lightning shield creeps more often when you're clearing lane, and then pop your healing totem as well if you're kind of low. Ideally, there you didn't want to eat that for your mortal damage again. So you guys are down 18 to 20. They went Cold Snap, Hunter's Blunderbuss, Legion of Northrend, Force of Will, and Bonus Track. All these are fairly standard for the most part. Legion of Northrend is not as standard, but it's not bad. You guys do out DPS them on this first half, but if you fight this... Oh, you popped APOC for it. Okay, so... I don't know if that was a misclick, or if you actually meant to pop APOC to try and get halftime quicker, but that's going to really, really neuter your team fight, especially because... you guys are down a tier. You really don't want to fight this, and especially being down a huge ult like APOC, you really don't want to fight this. Luckily, they tried a DPS instead of just taking the fight, which is going to give you the free Immortal. They should have taken that fight, probably, and just killed you guys. Because they were up Heroic Talents, or up Storm Talents, they definitely could have taken that fight. And with APOC down, like, you really didn't have much chance in that fight if they had taken it, but... take what you can get. Definitely take what you can get. So like here, I would say you guys should just go bottom and clear this fort out and push bottom, because this Immortal's gonna get at least the gate by itself. Probably not the fort, but maybe. If you force bottom, if you 5-man bottom, oh excuse me, you're gonna get 20, and you're gonna get this fort and maybe push a little bit of the keep as well. I've got the hiccups right now. I'm sorry. But you don't want to fight this before you're 20, and you're 4v5 up here because you have Thrall clearing bottom. I would have preferred at this point you guys can just stick as 5, and just clear this bottom lane out, get your 20, and let the Immortal push by itself. Really like to see the Diablo APOC combo with the 20 Hellgate talent too? Yeah, no problem. And the Thrall game if I have time. Yeah, for sure. We'll go ahead and do those then. We'll do that Thrall game after. Excellent Ancestral to save her, but unfortunately does get caught out. And that's just a matter of you guys being 4v5 down a tier. Like, you can't... and they're just going to chase you guys down with the Lucio speed boost. That's rough. That's really rough. Taking this fort is the right choice here. You need to get the hell out of dodge, though. They're going to try and push in and end with this 5v3 advantage. And they probably can, because they have Artanis shielding himself up. This should probably just be it. Lord Terror is going to heal you up a little bit on Diablo, but it's not going to be enough, unfortunately. And they should be able to just end here. Should. Zul'jin's still up. Diablo just come back up. But yeah, they have too much beef and too much healing from Lucio here to actually worry too much about it. They can definitely end here. Whether or not they do is another story. If they had all stuck on it, they probably could have ended. The Greymane, Greymane got scared. Okay, so you guys do live for now, but you're definitely not in a great spot. You are 20 now, so any fight you take will be good. Nexus Blades, I would have much preferred to see the Blink here, the Wind Fury Blink, especially because you went for Wind Fury at 3 different talent tiers. Getting an extra Wind Fury is always excellent, as well as Blink to dodge potential prisms or roots or rings, or just getting in on one of these backline heroes as well could be excellent choice. I would have preferred that out of over Nexus Blades. Buzzsaw is excellent. I like it. Lord of Terror, I prefer Hellgate again, but that's not bad. I'll show you the combo again after. We'll talk about that. But Storm Shield's an excellent choice on Rhaegar, no complaints there. And Temporal Flux I also really like on Li Ming. So no real complaints for those talents. Lord of Terror is not ideal. I really like Hellgate, but Lord of Terror is not terrible. Especially against 2 pretty beefy tanks like that, it's not bad. That being said, they do have a Lucio to heal up that damage pretty quickly right after you do it, so I'm not as sure about it, but that's okay. The biggest problem right now is your Zul'jin's still not stacked. It's 22 minutes. He really needs to be stacked at this point. Again, not shit talking him, but if you're gonna go for a heavy quest hero like that, you need to be able to get those stacks. Okay, so you guys should get this. Lord of Terror versus Samuro clones is super good. I agree. Clone heroes definitely benefit. Vikings, stuff like that. Trying to eat all this damage if you can help it. The lightning bond is getting some good value here now. I like it. So if you guys didn't know, I'm not sure if you guys do. If you are in melee range before the Immortal does any blasts, like here, let me rewind just a second. Potential spoilers. One of our players who couldn't make this scrim wants to know when to pick Keg on Chen. I don't play Chen, I'm sorry. If you have like a squishy backline that you need to get to, like a Morales or a Jaina in this situation or something like that, Keg's pretty good, in my opinion. Somebody that you can pick off. So this is halftime. This Immortal has not used any of its blasts. If you walk into melee range, which is inside this circle, like this circle right here-ish, if you walk into the inner circle here, it's going to use the melee blast. So what I like to do, even on a mage, like here, you can just walk in and then blink out, or just walk in and walk out really quick and force it to pop the melee blast. Because obviously it uses it right there and baps the throwaway, but then it doesn't use the melee blast for another 2 cycles. So on Rhaegar, you can throw a healing totem down safely in the middle and it won't actually get hit. Just a little heads up, little tip there. It does 2 of the outer blasts after the 1 inner blast. So yeah, so personally Chen is like, I really don't like the hero. I don't think he's in a great spot right now. But I think Keg's pretty good for the most part. This might be a very dead. So they recognize that they lost the Immortal, but they can win anyway because you only have 32%. So they're just gonna run down, kill Nevo real quick, like, and that's gonna be game. I think they probably just gonna end after that, which is unfortunate. But you guys, you need to recognize, hey, we only have 32% core. They can just end here, right? Yeah, so that is gonna be it, unfortunately. So yeah, GG. For the most part, you guys played pretty well, I would say. A couple of talents that I would change here and there. Nothing too crazy, but again, you can go over this. I'll put it up on my YouTube tonight as well. You guys can go ahead and look up that, and then I'll do the APOC combo right now for you on stream as well. But thank you all for watching episode 18 of my viewer replay, or 19, sorry. 19 of my viewer replay analysis. And yeah, I'll be back in a minute.